indisputable, exclusive. No other news agency has this video, nor this story. Let me first put up the picture of a young lady who was violently arrested by the police, profiled by cops. She did nothing illegal, no charges, nothing. You see her? That is Miss Dunlap. This is what happened. Here it is.
Please stop.
Can
y'all stop?
Okay.
Like, what are you doing?
You got her seatbelt?
Yeah.
Please stop.
Stop.
Please let go of me.
Stop resisting.
Please, I'm not you got me.
Yeah, you are.
You got me.
Okay, all right.
What are you doing?
Come on out.
Ma'am, okay, don't drag me out.
Then get out of the car.
I will if you will
I've asked you multiple
if
times.
you will
Get out of the car.
release my arm.
Get out of the car.
If you will release my arm,
step out
I
of the
will.
vehicle. Step
If
out
you
of the
will
vehicle.
release my arm,
Step out
I
of the
will.
vehicle.
Cause you're grabbing my arm very tightly.
Okay.
You're grabbing my arm very
She
tightly.
ain't going nowhere now.
Let me go.
Okay.
And I'll get the out.
Okay. Step back.
Don't start.
ID right
Okay.
there.
Okay, it
Now
sure
step back.
is.
Okay, now
And
step
you're
back.
not getting it because I know I haven't did anything
Okay. Step
wrong.
out the car.
Okay.
How many times have I asked you not?
Please let go of me.
Stop.
What are you doing?
Right.
Let go of me. Let go of me.
She did nothing illegal, no charges, no nothing. Put up her picture again. I have the entire background to this story, and it is going to make your blood boil. White police officers decided to violently arrest this young lady. This was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It happened on September 6th. She was simply doing her job. I will explain that in a moment. Her name is Jelana Dunlap. She was not charged with a crime, but she was yanked from her car while her seat belt was still on. That's the reason she did not move initially. Slammed against her own trunk, handcuffed and detained. Miss Dunlap hyperventilated. She vomited. Her attorney said the cops had no reasonable suspicion, no crime had ever occurred, and North Carolina is not a stop and identify state, which means it is against the law for a police officer to simply see you and say, can you identify yourself? Miss Dunlap, the young lady you're looking at, was simply doing her job. She was taking photos of a private property for her employer, a property manager in Fayetteville, North Carolina. She even told the police this when they confronted her. She was doing a job. They did not believe her. Miss Dunlap pleaded with officers. Let me go. Let go of my arm. Dunlap describes herself as 120 pounds soaking wet. She said there are days when she has not been able to eat or sleep because of the traumatic effect this has had on her psyche. She did file a complaint against the two officers over a month ago, has not received a response from the police department. She said about the experience, and I quote, I'm 22 years old. I've never been arrested. I've never been put in handcuffs or anything like that. I'm a good person. I'm a hardworking person. Put up her attorneys. So sick and tired of these cops brutalizing Black lives. Harry Daniels, civil rights attorney, and Carnell Johnson, civil rights attorney. They are now representing Ms. Dunlap. As I said, we are the only and the first news agency to report on this. Her car was parked. Her attorneys say the white officers had no reason to approach her or request ID. Attorney Daniels provided a statement directly saying, and I quote, notably, North Carolina is not a stop and identify state. Further, there was no reasonable suspicion that Ms. Dunlap had committed a crime. At best, this incident was a first-tier encounter between Ms. Dunlap and law enforcement, where Ms. Dunlap was under no obligation to even speak to law enforcement and had the right to leave. We intended to file a federal lawsuit on her behalf for this gross miscarriage of justice. We believe that Ms. Dunlap was singled out and was not giving the deference that she was lawfully on the property, just doing her assigned duties on account of her race. This incident has caused Ms. Dunlap extraordinary stress and anxiety. Ms. Dunlap's stress and anxiety has caused her to become physically ill and unable to work due to her having sickle cell disease. I want to remind everyone, The only people committing trespass were the police officers who had no permission to be on that private property. The young lady was permitted to be there on that private property. The cops were not. Who broke the law? The police did, not her. They broke the law before they engaged in that physical violent arrest, and noted on the record, no crime had been committed. They let her go. There was no arrest, no charge. There's more. A public information officer from the Fayetteville Police Department responded to our request for comment, said, and I quote, "All I know is it is under investigation in internal affairs." All I know is that it is under investigation. Okay, she explained a complaint was submitted, okay? They are investigating and cannot release additional details. Now, you just saw what happened, okay? You just saw exactly what happened. There was no criminal activity. None of that should have happened to this young lady. Where's the accountability of the police? All right, Mr. Mayor, if one of your cops or if your police agency did something like this, there has to be a penalty. Am I not right here?
Yeah, I think there has to be a penalty, whether they're my police officer or any police officers. We also should stop thinking of the police department as broken, right? This is exactly what they were designed to do. They, especially in North Carolina, which has one of the oldest police force rooting back to slave catchers, right? Her guiltiness or her being guilty is her being black. And we have to listen to the fear in this young lady's voice when they're trying to pull her out of her car, but yet and still she's extremely coherent. Like, what are you doing is basically saying, I've not broken any crime. I've done nothing wrong. Why are you yanking on me? The picture you put up with the officer grabbing her arm, you could see how far the officers were squeezing this young lady's arm in the picture. So I can't even understand what's going on, what she's dealing with right now. Plus, we have to also think about the epigenetics of being black. Fayetteville, North Carolina is less than 45 minutes from my hometown, where I'm the mayor. And it's absolutely disgusting to think about what the history of black people and police officers are in that part of the world. Then couple that with the fact that all the stresses that she's been added to deal with her sickle cell diagnosis. People forget this is a terminal sickness. And we also need to consider in her lawsuit, her lawyers, I hope, are thinking about people are obligated to take their victim the way they find them. So if you do something that in normal terms would not have killed someone and it killed somebody because of their medical conditions, then you are still viable or liable for murder.
That's right.
They need to be held accountable for any added stress they put on this young woman's life. And it doesn't need to be under investigation. Emmett Till's case is still under investigation. Under investigation is code to black people that you're not gonna see anything. So I hope we keep pressure on this police department to do something. And I'm glad they took it to the federal courts, because otherwise it may not have been heard.
Well said, and listen, they got the right attorneys on the case. We're gonna continue to follow on our end and give you updates as they come.